Hi, welcome to designmindtech.com technical blog. This is a test automation video series. Basically, we can understand test automation from foundation to advanced concepts. You following this automation video series. If you are a beginner in test automation, or you are an experienced manual tester, you would like to transform yourself into a automation SDET or automation engineer role, so you are at the right place. If you follow the video series entirely without missing any of the videos, you will definitely learn the advanced automation concepts, and you can get started with your automation journey or career. So basically, let's begin with understanding what is test automation as a foundation. So test automation or automation testing is a software testing discipline to automate manual software testing activities. So basically, you can automate the test cases and build the scripts to perform the same testing activity as manual tester does. Majorly, test automation is most suitable and makes sense for regression tests or any sort of repetitive tests like smoke tests or sanity tests, where you execute them across every release cycle. So regression test cycle is a huge effort and manual effort, and consumes a lot of time and resources. So if you have test automation in place, you can save the time, also the manual efforts cost, and additionally it can help in decreasing the human errors. So basically, when your test cycles are repetitive, so human can introduce some errors like missing test steps, or test cases are not properly executed, or by oversight you miss a defect. So these kind of human errors can be absolutely reduced to zero or very less. So test automation, if it is implemented or designed well and reviewed and approved with precision, then your automation scripts can be executed 1,000 times to perform the same actions without it missing any steps or defects. So accuracy of automation scripts are very high if you have designed it well. So let's learn to design automation scripts well and make test automation successful. If you want to follow the entire series of videos, so you'll have to subscribe to my channel so that you get notified on every release of a new video on the series, and you can follow that to learn all the concepts. So let's deep dive into test automation. So to begin with, basically, as I said, if you're a beginner, you need to first understand how manual testing looks, and then how do you automate that basically. So let's begin with one of the simple 4 steps test scenario or test case. So in this test case, we are going to test a login page functionality, basically, where you typically launch the application, enter the username, enter the password, click on login, and we expect a login should be successful if the entered credentials are valid. So we have to perform a validation, is it successful or not. And this is the typical flow of our test case, and you can see typical representation of a manual test case, where you have test step, expected result, and step number. So step 1 says launch application login page on Chrome browser. So this means I'm using Chrome browser, and expected result is application login page launch on Chrome browser should be successful. I should be able to see a login page displayed on the Chrome browser. Okay, and next we have second step, enter username in username field. That means I'm expecting a user name text field to accept entered username. So my expected condition says the same thing, username text field should be should accept entered username. And then I'm entering password in the same way. So password text field should accept the entered password, and click on the login button as the last step of the test case. The validation is user login should be successful. That means I have a validation here to perform, is it a successful or not. So if you are a manual tester, then you will definitely see once the login completes, so you will see a welcome message, or you can see a different kind of logged in user dashboard. But how do you ensure it in automation script? That we are going to see as well in the beginner series. So we are going to next slide now. So where we are going to understand what is test automation and the different components of Selenium. So basically, friends, Selenium is open source automation tool that can be used with any of the programming languages like Java, Python, C Sharp, Ruby. So Selenium supports well any of the uh, programming languages. So there are different components of Selenium. Basically, Selenium WebDriver is your library or the package which you will use for automating your test case. So all the APIs are from Selenium we're going to use, and there is something called browser driver. So basically, browser driver is an interface or bridge between your actual browser and Selenium code. The scripts are scripts will interact with browser driver. Browser driver will send the commands to real browser, and actions will be performed on the browser. So in this case, we have taken an example of Windows machine. So where we have IE, Chrome, and Edge, Chrome, and Firefox drivers. So this comes as a exe files. Basically, we will see in the actual code explanation how it looks and how do we get them, from where we will get them. So Firefox driver is known as Gecko driver. When you search on the Google, you should search it as Gecko driver. If you search for Firefox driver, you may not get it. So let's move on. Okay, let's move on. So let's first try to download the browser drivers. From where and how we can try download. What is the important thing you need to understand before downloading? So these driver files are basically tightly coupled with your browser version. Basically, let me show example of Chrome driver. So I am coming to Chrome driver. You will have to go to help and about Chrome. So I have 114 as the Chrome browser version. So when to download, I have to search as in the Google as download Chrome driver 144. So once I search, I get this link, developer Chrome link, where I navigate. I get this screen. You can see older versions are there. To get the newer versions, I have to get into this in the Chrome availability dashboard. You can see stable version, all of that available. So 144 is the latest version. So you need to search for Chrome driver. Don't take any of these are browser zip versions. Look for Chrome driver Windows. I can take Win32 or 64. Copy this line and then paste it in another tab to download it. Your download begins. So it downloaded, and then go ahead and extract it. So you can see the exe file is here. So you need to use this file as a driver file. Once we look at the code, you will understand how it looks basically. And next thing is, similarly you can download Gecko driver and IE driver as well, or the Edge. IE driver and Edge driver are both same. You can use either browsers with the same driver. And we are moving on to locators in Selenium. So locators are nothing but how do you identify and say in our case, in our test case, we have a login page, right? So basically this is the login page we are going to test. This is a test application. And so how do you know the text has to be entered here only, or password to be entered here only, or click this button only? I may click this also, right? So we need to have a unique identifier for these elements on the page. So basically if you look at this, these are the Selenium supported locators: id, name, css selector, link text, partial link text, tag name, xpath. So basically if you go here, you can see this is a input element. Let me highlight this. This is a input type of element, HTML element, where I have id, name, class, and other attributes also. Data id and id, name, class can be directly used for performing actions, and if you are using other attributes, you may go with the xpath. So I have a detailed video on locators alone, so you can refer to that before moving on with the script development part. So to get notified on the other videos in the series like locators and script development and all, subscribe to my channel, like, share and subscribe, so and motivate me to publish more and more videos in the same way, so that you can learn all sort of concepts. Thank you for watching this video.